Jesus of Nazareth. Let's be honest here. You and I can't escape this man. We go about our everyday lives, and we are bound to be reminded of him, one way or another. But who was he? Who is Jesus Christ? People believe all kinds of things about Jesus. Some say that he was a great teacher, and nothing more. Others say that he's a deity. And some even claim that Jesus of Nazareth wasn't even real, despite what the historical data says. So, let's talk about him. Jesus of Nazareth, also known as Yeshua in his native tongue, was a 1st century Galilean Jew who was born somewhere between 6 to 4 BC in the province of Judea. During his lifetime, Jesus' land was ruled with an iron fist under the great Roman Empire, which at the time was headed by Caesar Augustus. All the while, the Jews waited for the Messiah, a ruler promised to them by their God. They expected a conqueror who would bring an end to Rome and swiftly restore the kingdom of Israel. Although many rebel leaders throughout Judea's history claimed this title, they were all eventually defeated and forgotten. Now let's get back to Jesus. Jesus is most notable for his ministry as a wandering preacher, which started when he was around 30 years old. Beginning in his native land of Galilee, he went around preaching about the truths of the Jewish God, together with a radical message of love, mercy, justice, truth, repentance, and redemption for all who followed him. Considered to be a powerful healer and wonder worker, he captured the attention of the crowds, and as a result garnered a massive following. Jesus would also, at times, mention the ancient Hebrew Bible when preaching to his audience, specifically the ancient prophecies about the Messiah, claiming that they were all about him. Jesus' message was clear. He was the Messiah that the Jews had been waiting for, not like the powerful general that they were expecting, but a humble servant, willing to give up his life for the transgressions of his people, as the ancient prophets foretold. But not everyone accepted his message. His ministry came with a fair share of enemies. He confronted the prominent Pharisees and chief priests of his day, accusing them of their greed, injustice, and hypocrisy, thus creating a hostile tension between him and the religious elite. What angered his opponents further was that he was making bombastic and outlandish claims, even claiming godhood and equality with the Jewish God himself. And as a consequence, since his actions were seen as blasphemy by the Jews and dissension to the Romans, Jesus of Nazareth was sentenced to death by crucifixion. And with that, his disciples have most likely disbanded. It's done. It's all over. Just like every other claimant to the messianic title, the memory of Jesus of Nazareth will soon fade away and be forgotten. Well, that should have been the case. But something strange happened. The corpse of Jesus of Nazareth goes missing, and his followers suddenly start to proclaim that the Galilean has risen from the dead. Surely a claim so bizarre can be shut down without question. But with no corpse to show, what is there to be debunked? Perhaps his followers came tonight and stole his body, which would be unlikely, since a bunch of fishermen and peasants wouldn't be any match against a group of highly trained Roman soldiers. But that's certainly the story the religious elite decided to go with. Maybe they lied, but no one would give up their lives in the most horrific ways for a lie. And we know many followers of Jesus who are willing to put their lives on the line rather than deny what they saw. Or perhaps it's made up, a legend created at a later date. This would be false, since we have an ancient Christian creed detailing the resurrection of Jesus and his appearance to 500 people, dating to only 2 to 3 years after his death. In the event that the Christian theory proves true, what does it mean for us? As C.S. Lewis wrote in his essay titled, "What Are We to Make of Jesus Christ?" I quote, "The question is, I suppose, whether any hypothesis covers the facts so well as the Christian hypothesis. That hypothesis is that God has come down into the created universe, down to manhood, and come up again, pulling it up with him." End quote. So my question to you, esteemed viewer, is this: who is Jesus Christ to you?